Hello everyone. Today in this lesson we are going to deal with the term called viscosity. So first of all, let's see what is meant by viscosity. It is a property of fluid by virtue of which an internal force comes into play when a fluid is in motion and which opposes the relative motion between its different layers. So now let's discuss in detail what is the reason, what is the cause of viscosity. Now you just imagine the liquid is flowing slowly and steadily over a fixed horizontal surface. So this is a fixed horizontal surface. So just imagine above this fixed horizontal surface there are many layers of liquid is now we are considering. Okay, there are many layers of liquid. So what we have considered here, the liquid is now flowing slowly and steadily. So we can imagine that liquid is now flowing in terms of layers. Okay, so these are the few layers are shown here. So what is the velocity of liquid layer just in contact with the fixed surface? So we can say that velocity is equal to 0. Now you can see the first layer which is in contact with the fixed surface is equal to 0. So what is the velocity of the next layer? So now you can see here the velocity above this layer, say it as v. Okay, say it as v. What is the velocity of the next layer? You can see here the velocity will be now more than this layer. And if you consider one more layer, you can see the velocity will be a little bit more than the previous layer, and it will continue like this. That means the velocity of which layer will be more? The velocity of layer which is in the surface will be more comparatively the previous layers. Okay, now you just imagine two layers. You say it as this is the layer A and this is the layer B. Okay, if you consider the velocity of B as v, what is the velocity of layer A? We can say here that is equal to v plus dv. The velocity will be more than the velocity of the layer B. That means what is actually happening here? The upper fast moving layer A, see this one, the upper fast moving layer A tends to accelerate the lower slow moving layer B. Okay, so while slow moving layer B tends to retard the fast moving layer A. Okay, once again, layer A will tends to accelerate the layer B, where the layer B tends to retard the layer A. Okay, as a result, there will be a backward dragging tangential force. F will be acting in opposite direction. Clear? Okay, that is a tangential force is acting, and this force is called what? Viscous force, or maybe we can say that this viscous drag come into play, which tends to destroy the relative motion. Okay, which tends to destroy the relative motion. Now you can see the definition here. Property of fluid by virtue of which an internal force come into play when a fluid is in motion and which opposes the relative motion between its different layers, and this is called what? Viscosity. So I hope it is clear what is meant by viscosity. So now let's discuss about what is meant by coefficient of viscosity. What is meant by coefficient of viscosity? Consider a fixed surface. This is the fixed surface. Fixed surface means the velocity of layer just above or which is in contact with this fixed surface become 0. Now you are imagine there are two layers. Okay, just imagine there are two layers. These are the two layers. This is a layer 1, and just above that one more layer you are considering. This is the layer 2. Okay, this is the layer 2. Now just imagine what is the velocity of layer 1 very close to the fixed surface. If you consider this as v, what is the velocity of layer just above this one? Definitely we can say that the velocity will be more, so say it as v plus dv. Now consider from the fixed surface, the first layer is now situated at a distance x. So what is the distance from the fixed surface to the second layer? We can say it as x plus dx. Okay, so velocity is v and here it is v plus dv, distance is x and here the distance is x plus dx. Now let's discuss about what is meant by coefficient of viscosity. According to Newton, the viscous force, you can see from the picture, the viscous force is acting in backward direction. That viscous force is directly proportional to the area of the layers. Say it as this is the area of the layer we are considering. Okay. So the viscous force is directly proportional to the area of the layer in contact. That is the first statement according to Newton. The second statement is that the viscous force is directly proportional to the velocity gradient. Velocity gradient means dv divided by dx. Okay, this is called what? Velocity gradient. So what is meant by velocity gradient? It is the rate of change of velocity with distance. Okay, rate of change of velocity with distance in the direction of increasing distance. In the direction of increasing distance. So we can write this equation as F is directly proportional to A into dV divided by dx. Okay, dV divided by dx. How to avoid the proportionality sign? We can multiply with a constant. So we can write here F is equal to a constant. The constant we are using the term called eta. Okay, eta into A into dV divided by dx. So we can write this equation to explain the coefficient of viscosity. F is equal to eta into A dV by dx, but we have put here one minus sign. What is a negative sign here indicates that the viscous force act in the direction opposite to the direction of motion of liquid. So this is the direction of motion of liquid, but the viscous force is acting in opposite direction. So that's why we have put one minus sign here. So this is the basic formula related to the coefficient of viscosity. Here the coefficient of viscosity is this constant called eta. So what is the equation for coefficient of viscosity? Eta. The coefficient of viscosity eta is equal to F divided by A into dx divided by dV. Okay. So negative sign only shows the direction. Now what is the unit of coefficient of viscosity? Let's discuss about the first one. What is the CGS unit? CGS unit of coefficient of viscosity can be written as dyne, okay, dyne second centimeter raised to minus 2, or we can also write here gram centimeter raised to minus 1 s to the power minus 1, and this is called poise. CGS unit of coefficient of viscosity is called what? Poise. Okay, this is the poise, or what is meant by 1 poise? 1 poise is equal to 1 dyne second centimeter raised to minus 2. This is called 1 poise. Now let's discuss what is a SI unit here. SI unit of coefficient of viscosity is Newton second meter raised to minus 2. Okay, or we can say here kilogram meter raised to minus 1 s to the power minus 1, and this is called decapoise. What is that? Decapoise. Decapoise is also called poiseuille. Okay, Poiseuille, poiseuille. So decapoise or poiseuille, this is the SI unit of coefficient of viscosity, and there is a relation is the what is the value of 1 decapoise. 1 decapoise or 1 poiseuille can be written as 10 poise. That is in CGS unit. Okay, so what is the relation between SI unit and CGS unit? 1 decapoise is equal to 10 poise. So these are the units we are using for coefficient of viscosity. Now let's discuss about the term called terminal velocity. What is meant by terminal velocity? So the definition you can see here: maximum constant velocity acquired by a body while falling through a viscous medium. Okay, so what is meant by terminal velocity? Let's discuss in detail. So just before discussing what is meant by terminal velocity, let's discuss about the Stokes law. Okay, let's discuss about what is meant by Stokes law. Just imagine one container, a long container. Okay, the container consists of a fluid which is a viscous fluid. Okay, now what we are doing here, we are just put one metal ball. Okay, we just now put one metal ball into this fluid. The radius of the metal ball is set as r. R is the radius of the metal ball. When the metal ball, now when you put in this fluid, what will happen to this metal ball? The metal ball will now start accelerating downward. While it is accelerating, there will be one more force will be acting upward, and that is called what? Viscous force. Just now we have discussed here. So while it is traveling downward, viscous force will try to decelerate this one, and after some time what may happen, the velocity slowly decreases and come to a constant velocity, and that constant velocity is called what? Terminal velocity. So that we will discuss in detail later. So according to Stokes theorem, okay, according to Stokes theorem, the viscous force is acting, F is equal to 6 pi into eta into r into v, where eta is the coefficient of viscosity, r is the radius of this ball, and v is the velocity. And this velocity and this uniform velocity is called what? Terminal velocity. So now let's derive the expression for terminal velocity. So just to consider once again the same case here, one container, okay. In the container we are taking the fluid, which is viscous fluid we are taking here, and we put one metallic ball into this fluid. Which are the forces are acting while this ball is now coming downward? You say it as the ball is now reached here. While it is in motion, we can say that which are the forces are acting. As we already discussed, there will be a viscous force will be acting upward, and there will be a weight will be acting downward. Weight of the object will be acting vertically downward. Correct? Now one more force will be acting on the metallic ball by the fluid, and that is called what? Upthrust. Okay? Upthrust. Now let's consider the density of this metallic ball is said as rho. Okay, the density of metallic ball is said as rho, and the density of the fluid we are considering it as sigma. Okay, there are two different densities. Definitely the metallic ball will be denser. It is more denser than the fluid. Let's write first of all which are the upward forces are acting here. The upward forces are upthrust and the viscous force. Viscous force we have already learned using Stokes theorem, 6 pi eta rv. Now what is the formula for upthrust? Okay, upthrust. Upthrust we can write it as 4 by 3 pi r cube into sigma into g. That is same as what? Mg, correct. Upthrust is equal to V density into gravity, volume into sigma into gravity. So upthrust is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube sigma g. And one more force is acting, which is acting downward. What is the force acting in downward direction? That is the weight. Weight is equal to mg. Once again we already learned that one density is equal to mass by volume. Same formula we can apply here. M is equal to volume into density. So what is the weight here? Volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube into weight of this object. So we have to use the density term rho. So rho into g. So these are the three forces acting on the body. Two forces are acting upward and one force is acting downward. Now after some time, when the ball is now, or when the metallic ball is now falling downward, after some time what will happen? The upward force acting on the body must be equal to the downward force. Upward force acting on the ball and the downward force acting on the ball become equal. When it become equal, you can write it here, U plus F is equal to W. U plus F is equal to W. Now what is U here? 4 by 3 pi r cube into sigma g. Okay, sigma is the density of water or density of the fluid what we have taken here. Okay, plus what is the force? That is a viscous force, 6 pi eta rv is equal to weight. Weight is equal to what? 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho g. Now we are going to derive here what? Terminal velocity, the constant velocity. Now you can see here, when the upward force and downward forces are equal, now what will happen to this metallic ball? The metallic ball will move with a constant velocity, and that constant velocity is called what? the terminal velocity. So let's derive the terminal velocity from here. So we can write here 6 pi eta rv, okay, 6 pi eta rv is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube rho g minus 4 by 3 pi r cube sigma g, okay. That means 6 pi eta rv is equal to, which all things are common here, we can say it as 4 by 3 pi r cube g into rho minus sigma, rho minus sigma. Therefore, what is the final equation here? V is equal to, you take the 6 pi eta rv towards the right side, you can see here the equation become 2 by 9 r square into rho minus sigma into g divided by eta. So this is the equation for which one? The terminal velocity. So what is meant by terminal velocity? Maximum constant velocity acquired by a body while falling through a viscous medium. So this is the equation for what? Terminal velocity. Hope you understood this one. Thank you.